Good morning children, welcome to NEET AIPMT Foundation classes. This is biology session. You are watching biological classification part 2. What is biological classification? Biological classification is the scientific procedure of arranging organisms into groups on the basis of their similarities and dissimilarities and placing the group in a hierarchy of categories. Okay. The hierarchy which we are following at present is done by R.H. Whittaker in 1969. He divided all the organisms into 5 kingdoms. What are they? Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi and Animalia. Okay. So, we started discussing the basic characteristic features of these 5 kingdom, out of which we have completed the Monera, Protista, okay, and Fungi, Plantae and Animalia we are going to discuss, and after that in detail we are going to discuss about each and every kingdom in this biological classification. Are you ready children? Let us proceed. Kingdom Plantae. What are the characteristic features of kingdom Plantae? Kingdom Monera, the most primitive organisms. Kingdom Protista, eukaryotic organisms but unicellular. Okay. Then kingdom Fungi, somewhat better existing organisms, that is multicellular eukaryotic. And here in the kingdom Plantae also the eukaryotic and multicellular and autotrophic organisms are included. Okay. So, this kingdom Plantae include the organisms, they are eukaryotic and chlorophyllous, okay, multicellular organisms. A few members are partially heterotrophic, such as some insectivorous plants or parasites, okay, also included in this kingdom Plantae only. And the plant cells are eukaryotic with a cellulosic cell wall. The life cycle consists of the dominant sporophyte and a highly reduced gametophyte showing alternation of generation. Means the life cycle has 2 phases, diploid saprophytic and haploid gametophyte that alternates with each other. Okay, alternation of generation it is called. Next, plants are multicellular organisms which produce their food by photosynthesis, means autotrophic. Okay. So, these plants if you take they are cosmopolitan in distribution, in occurrence, means everywhere they are present throughout the world, and are economically very important as they yield food, fodder, timber, fuel, etc. They consist of this kingdom Plantae consists of algae, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms. Okay. Angiosperms are the modern plants. The cell walls are made up of cellulose. It includes all types of plants, herbs, shrubs, trees, flowering and non-flowering plants. Under non-flowering plants, algae, fungi, bryophytes, pteridophytes, okay, and flowering plants, angiosperms and gymnosperms. Okay. So, here you can see the plant kingdom. So, ferns, non-flowering, pteridophytes, flowering plants, angiosperms, and the conifers means gymnosperms. This horsetail, liverworts and mosses, they are bryophytes. Okay, ginkgos, cycads, these are all bryophytes. Okay. These are the different types of groups of plants. Next, kingdom Animalia. They are heterotrophic, eukaryotic multicellular organisms which have cells, but they lack the cell wall and chlorophyll. They are heterotrophic. Okay. Heterotrophic, eukaryotic, multicellular organisms they lack cell walls or cell walls are absent. They feed on plants or other animals. It includes all types of animals. It includes all types of animals. You can see different arthropods, annelids, mollusks, okay, lophophorate animals, chordates. This is an amphibian, frog, echinoderms, deuterostomes, proterostomes, okay, in which how the mouth and anus are formed, deuterostomes and proterostomes, mollusks, rotifers, nematohelminths, okay, pseudocoelomates, coelomates based on coelom, okay, ilaters, okay, eumetazoa, parazoa, cnidarians, radiata, ctenophores, parazoa, eumetazoa. Parazoa means primitive multicellular sponges, just as cellular organization is started. Eumetazoa means true multicellular organisms, okay. So, flatworms like that, both vertebrates and invertebrates, all animals are included in the kingdom Animalia. Okay, it consists of heterotrophic eukaryotic multicellular organisms which which have cells and that lack the cell wall and chlorophyll. They show the holozoic nutrition and depend on plants either directly or indirectly. They may be saprotroph, parasite or symbiont. They digest their food in the internal cavity and store their food as a glycogen or fat. Okay. They follow a definite growth pattern, and higher forms have elaborate sensory and neuromotor mechanisms. Most of them show locomotion. Animals show the locomotion. The sexual reproduction is by copulation of male and female or gamete formation and fusion of gametes, only followed by embryo development. Okay, this is about the kingdom Animalia. Now come to in detail the general characteristic features of Monera kingdom, kingdom Monera. Okay. They are primitive organisms. All organisms of the kingdom are prokaryotes, means the nucleus is absent or primitive nucleus is present. There is no nuclear membrane. They are present in both living and non-living environments. Okay. Monerans are special organisms, they can live in any kind of environment. They can survive in harsh and extreme climatic conditions like in hot springs and acidic soils, etc. Okay. So, methanogens and halophiles are those bacteria which can survive in the hot springs and the acidic conditions. Okay. Thermoacidophiles. So, they are unicellular organisms. The membrane bound nucleus is totally absent because they are prokaryotic. DNA is a double stranded form suspended in the cytoplasm of the organism, referred as nucleoid. Okay, there is no nucleus, only nucleoid is present. Okay, this DNA is not surrounded by nuclear membrane, only genetic material will be freely present in the cell. So, living characteristic features: plasma membrane, cytoplasm. Okay, they possess flagella, pili, ribosomes are present. These ribosomes are present in groups. It is called polyribosomes. They are of different shapes. Okay, coccus, round, bacillus, rod shaped. Okay, so comma shaped vibrio. Like that, the different shapes they exist in different environments, they can survive. The bacteria are characterized by the peptidoglycan cell wall. Okay. Next, the membrane bound cellular organelles like mitochondria are absent. In place of this mitochondria, actually the mesosomes are developed by the plasma membrane of bacteria, okay, which perform the function of a mitochondria. What is the function of mitochondria, children? It produces energy during respiration. So, mesosomes will compensate the mitochondria in these monerans. Habitat means where they are present. Monerans are found everywhere in hot springs, under ice means very cold conditions, in deep ocean floor, okay, in deserts means anaerobic conditions you can see, in deserts very hot conditions, and on or inside the body of plants and animals, acidic, basic, whatever may be the conditions, due to the presence of that cell wall they can survive. Nutrition. Nutrition in these monurans, they are special variety of, there is a lot of variation in the nutrition of these monurans. They are autotrophs, they can prepare their own food. The heterotrophs depend on other for food. Saprophytes, which feed on the dead and decaying matter. Parasitic, live on other host cells for survival and cause diseases. Symbiotic, and they may undergo the mutual relationship with other organisms. The commensalism, it is where one organism is benefited and the other is not affected. Mutualism, where both the organisms are benefited. See the beauty of nutrition in these monurans. Okay. So, these if you take the structure, it is very simple. They show the cell wall with the peptidoglycan. The bacterial cell structure that are present external to the cell wall are glycocalyx or capsule. The flagella are present, fimbriae are present, and pili are also present. The structures internal to the cell wall include plasma membrane or cell membrane, okay, mesosomes, nucleoid, and cytoplasm. The bacteria are classified on the basis of their shapes. Coccus, okay, coccus bacteria, which are spherical, bacillus, which are rod shaped, okay, and the spirillum, spiral shape, okay, and the vibrio, comma shape, and pleomorphic, so different shapes, okay. They may be in isolated, single, they may be in groups. Next, respiration. So, if you take the respiration in these organisms vary. They may be obligate aerobes. The organisms must have the organisms for survival, okay, means respiration, oxygen is required for survival, aerobes, and obligate anaerobes. The organisms cannot survive in the presence of oxygen. The facultative anaerobes, these are the organisms which can survive with or without oxygen, okay. They may be obligate or facultative, okay, and they may be, okay, aerobes are anaerobes. Aerobes means in the presence of oxygen only they can survive. Anaerobes means in the presence or absence of oxygen they can survive. Facultative, okay, these can survive with or without oxygen, okay. Anaerobes means especially they cannot survive in the presence of oxygen, okay. They want oxygen free environment. Circulation, there are no special circulatory organs, they are prokaryotes, unicellular. So, the circulation of the materials takes place by through the body surface by diffusion. Movement is with the help of flagellae. Reproduction is mostly asexual. The sexual reproduction is also seen in some by conjugation. The asexual reproduction is by binary fission. Sexual reproduction is by conjugation or transformation and transduction, the methods of sexual reproduction, okay. The kingdom Monera examples. The monurans comprises of mostly bacteria. Following are the few well known examples: blue green algae, cyanobacteria, cocci shaped bacteria, streptococcus, bacillus or bacilli shaped rod shaped bacteria, Escherichia coli, vibrio shaped comma shaped bacteria, vibrio cholerae, spiral shaped bacteria, Treponema pallidum, syphilis bacteria it is also called, gram positive bacteria it is Mycobacterium, and gram negative bacteria Escherichia coli, coliforms, okay, they are of different shapes. You know the cyanobacteria are blue-green algae. Okay, cyanobacteria or blue-green algae or aseptate branched filamentous bacteria which form radiating colonies in culture, hence formerly called ray fungi. They are also called streptomyces, produce the antibiotics. So, economic importance of this bacteria if you take. Okay, mycoplasmas are the smallest bacteria and are the smallest of all the free living prokaryotes. They can survive without oxygen. Due to the absence of cell wall, the organisms can change their shape and are pleomorphic. The organisms are often called MLOs, mycoplasma like organisms, or PPLOs, pleuropneumonia like organisms. Okay, it's very important, children, you have to remember these things. Mycoplasma like organisms or pleuropneumonia like organisms. Okay, they form the characteristic colony with a fried egg appearance. Okay, see Salmonella typhi, it is a pathogenic bacteria. Clostridium botulinum, it is a very food poisoning it will cause. Staphylococcus bacteria, Legionella pneumoniae, pneumonia causing bacteria. Streptococcus pneumoniae, pneumonia causing bacteria. Treponema pallidum, okay, Vibrio cholerae bacteria, cholera causing bacteria. Clostridium tetani, tetanus causing bacteria. Okay. So, example for the cyanobacteria, nostoc and anabina, two examples, nostoc and anabina. Bacteria show both autotrophic and heterotrophic nutrition. They may be chemoautotrophic or photoautotrophic. The symbiotic bacteria, example Rhizobium. Frankia is another parasitic, cholera bacteria, okay, etc. Okay. So, this is about the kingdom Monera. Now, kingdom Protista and its definition, characteristic feature. All unicellular eukaryotic organisms are placed under this Protista, but the boundaries of this kingdom are not well defined. It acts as a connecting link between prokaryotic kingdom Monera and the complex multicellular kingdoms. What are they? Fungi, Plantae and Animalia. The kingdom Protista includes chrysophytes, dinoflagellates, euglenoids, slime molds and protozoans. Okay, the kingdom Protista is a diverse group of eukaryotic organisms. The protists are unicellular, some are colonial or multicellular. They do not have specialized tissue organization. The simple cellular organization distinguishes the protist from other eukaryotes. The cell body of the protists contain a nucleus which is well defined and membrane bound organelles. Some have flagella or cilia for locomotion. The reproduction in protists is both asexual and sexual. They live in any environment that contains water. Okay, children. So, this is about the Protista, some characteristic features. In the next class, we are going to study more. Okay. Thank you for watching our video. Have a good day.